Hello everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw Black Widow from the Avengers. Alright, I'm going to start out with a quick sketch for myself. Don't worry about if you can't see this. This is mostly for me, just to make sure that I get everything in here and don't fall off the page, that kind of thing. And I'll switch over to Sharpie in a bit and you'll be able to see much better. Alright, so I'm trying to think of a good pose. I mean, I want to do something better than just standing pose. Something a little excited, a little action. So I'm trying to think of something that's pretty good. But see, even that, not good enough. And that's just the hand. So I'm trying to think of a really good action pose. And heck, I'm still just trying to think of the hand real quick. So hopefully this will work for me. Still not crazy about that. But that's why we sketch, just to get it right. So let's do something like this. Down. Let's see, down like that. I'm looking at my hand while I'm doing this, just to get the positioning right. I think that'll work. I just gotta, yeah, like that. There we go. That's a action pose like that, right? Something a little bit better than just just standing there. All right, and I kind of want to make sure I get this one right because, yeah, it's Black Widow, right? And this is a very special drawing or character, So I just got to make sure I get that part right, and then I can go on to the rest. I think that's good. And then I'll try to do something more exciting over here too. So let's see, that arm's going to be up. Let's do this one. Let's try and put the baton in there too. So maybe, let's see, her arm's going to be like this. Put the arm out like that. And again, that's why we're sketching, just to make sure I get this in a good pose. Because it's worth it, right? Okay, kind of long, but I think that'll work. Let's see, I'm gonna put the thumb in like that, and then I'm gonna cut it off not cut off the thumb. What I meant was cut off the edge because it is on the other side of the baton. And let's see, I gotta do the detail of the baton. I guess there's the other trick to it, is I gotta try to not go crazy. And I might end up using a ruler on this one too, just to get this right, because it's definitely it deserves it, I keep moving no matter what I do. Okay, so anyway, so I can't go crazy with the detail because it gets small. And sometimes can't quite get everything in there, so you kind of have to accept that and just draw what you can, and just go from there. I'm kind of given the there's little like a little bandage, whatever, wrapped around. I kind of want it like an action, flying around, something a little different. Okay. Let's see, so I got to add some more detail here. And I think the Black Widow symbol, I think I'm going to do that in with color. because it deserves it. It needs to be something cool, you know? And if I just draw it, it won't quite look the same. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so again, I can't add too many details in the face because my Sharpies won't handle that. Sharpies are too fat. Too wide. I guess we shouldn't be shaming the Sharpies, right? They're too thick. Alright. I think that's pretty good in the face. How much of that detail I'll be able to hold, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so sorry this sketch is taking me a little bit longer, but again, like I said, I wanna get it right. I want this to look good. And let's see, a little whippy like that. I like to call the ones that fly out whippies. Okay, a little piece of hair up like that. Alright, I think that might be good enough for the face. Now I can move down here to the body. And let me see some details, make sure I'm not missing out on stuff. Okay, I gotta make sure I get that belt in. And what else does she have? Little pockets here. Everybody's gotta have pockets and pouches. Okay, I think that's good. So now, let's get back to the legs. Alright, let's have one like this, another one out like that. That looks about right. Let's see. Let me kind of step back and look at it. This one needs to be more angled like that, because it's holding her up. Right? Okay. She's got easy to draw shoes, so this shouldn't take us too long. I'm just going to redraw her legs right there, just make sure I'm happy with that. I am. It looks great. Okay, so now I just have to add a few details. That looks great. I love that. Looking really good. Okay, and so this leg I'm gonna have back here like this, and then that's too long. See, that's why you sketch, and that's why you step back and look, and see where you are, where you're going, and where you've been. It's best to always see where you're going. You never want to look back. Now, if someone is throwing something at you, of course you want to look back. But it's kind of the old adage of, you always want to move forward. So that's what the joke is never look back. But again, if someone's throwing something at you, you might want to make sure you turn around and look. Okay, so let's finish this leg up. There we go. That looks much better. All right. Okay, I like it. It makes me want to put this leg a little bit lower down like that. And that works. It's just in position to that. Just want to make sure that I've got it in a good spot. Nothing too crazy. Just making sure it's all going to be there. Okay, I think we can get started. I'm going to switch over to Sharpies now. And you're welcome to use a pencil or switch over to Sharpies with me. I'm just kind of tightening up some of these pencil lines. And I've got a lot, so I'm just kind of erase some of them, so it won't stand out from that Sharpie. but I can still see them. It's the rough sketch. All right, let's get started. So I'm gonna use two Sharpies, Sharpie fine point and Sharpie pen. I'm gonna start with the Sharpie pen because it's finer than the fine point. Go figure. So I'm gonna do her eyes first and see if I'm happy with that, then I can get started with the rest. So I'm gonna just do like this. All right, and then add some pupils. Just looking up at you like that. All right, I can live with that. So now I'm gonna highlight just a little bit, try to give it like a little bit of a eyeliner, you know, just so thicken up the top edge. But like I said, this is hard to do because I don't want to go too crazy. Because see, I just lost some of the pupil by doing that because these are too fine. These aren't fine enough for something so tiny, you know. So we gotta have to play around with what we can draw and what we can't. So this will work. All right. Okay, let's make that work. Okay, so she needs some eyebrows. And she's got that angry fighter look. Okay, and so I'm not going to do too much for the nose. I'm just going to kind of add like that because again, this is so tiny, you can almost not really do anything, you know. So let's kind of give her a mouth, give her a top lip, give her a bottom lip like that. And so now I'm going to draw some hairs in here. Well, okay, I'll tell you what, let's draw the chin because I know where I want that to go. I'm going to thicken that up a little bit because I'm about to switch over to the fine point Sharpie, which is super thick. And so I'm trying to do this kind of like the fine point Sharpie because it's so thick. It's going to look odd. See how that looks, how thin and thick? This is how it's going to be if I don't thicken it up a little bit compared to the next Sharpie I'm going to be using. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So now I can do some of the hair, and then I'll switch. I think I'll do all this hair with this fine point Sharpie, so I can control it much easier. It's super hard to control with that other Sharpie, so I'll just use this one. Something like this, and let's draw the other half too, just so we know where we are. I'm going to draw this part real fast, just to make sure everything's flying right. Okay, I'm going to do that. Has everybody seen the Avengers movie yet? I'm not going to be able to go until Sunday? No, Friday? I don't know. I have, this is the one time I have a lot of things I got to do, so I can't quite jump on it like I normally do. But that's okay. So no spoilers. I think it should be said that this place will be spoiler free. I doubt anybody's going to leave any comments. Nobody's really watching this. But I will delete any spoilers. Okay, so I think that's pretty good for that. I'm trying not to go too crazy here, but I want to have a little bit of fun with it. So let's draw some hairs in here like this, just to have a little bit of fun. I mean, it's hair. You should have fun with hair, because that's the one time that you can't really. No one will say, "Hey, that's not right," you know. I mean, you can. Someone will ultimately always tell you something's not right, but this is your artistic freedom. You get to go crazy with this. All right, I should probably not go too crazy with that because, like I said, we got a lot more to draw, and you know, this is only just the hair. You know, we've seen hair, no big deal. Let's see. So let me just draw a few more edges to try to complete this. And again, I'm trying to thicken it up just a little bit to be compatible with the Sharpie I'm about to switch over to. And you'll see, it's pretty cuckoo crazy. All right. All right, I think that might be enough to get the point across, you know? Okay, I see one more I want to do just because it was in the sketch and it looked good. Just that line. Perfect. Boom, bam, done. Let's go. All right, I'm going to switch over to the other Sharpie now so I can move a little faster and take a few more liberties. So I'm going to draw her neck. She's kind of hunched over, so her neck is back behind her chin, so we don't have to worry too much about that. So I'm going to draw the edge of her shirt is basically what I'm doing. So because she's hunched over, let's draw this real quick, like the edge of her collar, like that, because it's kind of popped a little bit going back there. And again, I want to control it much easier than I would with that big fat Sharpie. So I'll do this too. That'll give us an edge of her shoulder. Just because, again, I don't want to go through that hair. That came out really good. And I want to leave it alone. Okay. Back to the big Sharpie. So, let's see. Alright, so I'm going to draw her shoulders with the strap right there. So her shoulders are kind of up. So I'm going to draw the edge of it like this. Draw the strap over to that. And that is the edge of her suit, just like that. And let's go ahead and just draw her waist like this, and that'll help us determine where everything else is going to go. So now over here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw, this is where her strap's going to be, so it's going to look a little weird at first. It's going to be like this, over her chest, down to her waist, like that. Okay, so now I can draw the other side of that strap over like this, and the top of her armor, basically. So see how thick this is compared to that? That's why I wanted to make it up a little bit thicker, because you draw a nose line real fast, just to touch something, you know, so it's not floating. And so now I'm gonna continue with this, but see how thick it is, you know, compared to that. That's why you want to do something a little different. So okay, so she's got an armband on. I know where that's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and draw that in, and like I said, I'm going to do something a little artistic, a little wavy with that part that's attached. So now that I have boundaries and edges, I can continue and draw her arm like this. Draw this down to her forearm, to this first little bracelet that she has. I don't know what that bump was for, but it's there, so we're going to keep going with it. So she's got the bracelet and the wrist communicator and all that crazy stuff that everybody else has. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. And so now I could draw the bracelet. The bracelet, I'm just going to kind of do like this. Okay, and then I'll come back in with the fine Sharpie and just draw a few lines, just a few. It doesn't matter if I don't hit those edges that I did the bumps on. It's just to get the point across, okay? So this hand, it's kind of down like this, okay? So I'm going to draw where the thumb is, the meat of the hand, then the back of the hand, and that'll kind of give me a location of where everything else is going to be. So now I can draw the thumb like that, draw the hand down to the finger like this, and I'm going to draw the other fingers like that, but they're kind of behind everything, so I don't have to draw everything. I just kind of hide them like that. See? So she's got a hand out like that. Okay, so let's draw this one over here. And so this one is just straight arm to the bicep, to the forearm, to that bracelet. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here to the bracelet like that. So see, not much you got to do on that one. So the same thing, I'm going to do the bracelet like this. And let's go ahead and draw those in while we're here. Just a couple of lines. And notice I wasn't paying attention, I just started drawing lines. So just go crazy. Don't worry about whether it's right or wrong. Just draw it, you know? So okay, so this thumb is going to kind of, see, that's what I was saying by it's cut off, because it's underneath, so you only see basically the knuckle. And so this hand is going to come around like this, and all the other fingers are wrapped around this thing, so you can't quite see them because of the way it's holding. So that's all we got to draw. We're done with that. So now we're just going to draw the stick And I'm just going to draw a straight edge like this real quick. Just again, just to make it look right and honor the actual design, you know? And then just do another one over here like this. Draw that like back there. And that's going to be the little, pretty much like that. Like her bracelet is going to be like an edge like that. So, okay, so now I'm going to draw the, what do you call it, the little insignia. She's got a couple like that. And then the bandage, which again, I'm just going to kind of do something like this. Something like that. Just to, you know, make it fun, you know. And it's got an intricate way that it's drawn, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to have a little fun with it. I'm going to come up like this, come down. The next part kind of follows it. Come up like this, come down, and then I'm kind of connect them where I left it floating. And then this last part is kind of like this. Something like that. All right, cool. We're done with that. So let's finish up the rest of it. And the rest of it is just pretty much legs with not too much detail. There's guns there, but we can't see them because they're in a holster, so we're not going to worry about those details. So let's draw this little pouch here. Easy. Let's draw her belt. And it's got a little more of a detail into it. It's just basically something like that. Nothing too crazy. And then, let's see, here's a little connector right there, and then we can just connect the belt. Boom, ba boom, like that. And then she's got another one hanging right underneath it, and it's just kind of following her hip right there. So I'm just going to basically do that. Okay, so now we're just going to, and like I said, all this inside here, I'm going to worry about with color. I'm not even going to take care of that right now. So let's just draw her legs. So let's see, this leg is going to just come over here like this, down to this knee. And let's see, I'll go ahead and draw down to the boot. That'll help you. Like that. And so we're going to follow this one back on, up to right there where his crotch is going to be. And let's go ahead and draw the gun, or at least the holster, and then all you're really going to see is like that. That's really it, because the rest is behind her leg. So let's draw this other leg so we can kind of keep it all uniform. So I'm going to follow this one down here to her knee. She's got a knee pad, but I'm just going to follow it down like this because I know where it's going to go because of my sketch. So same thing, let's follow this leg over down to the knee. And that's where she's gonna, let's go ahead and do the foot. That's where it's gonna bend at the ankle is what I was trying to say. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one too. Then I'll add all this little detail. Since we're here, might as well, right? So there's that back of the leg down to this part of the foot. And this part right here to the top of the shoe, down like this, over, and up like that. Okay, so let's just add a few details. So this leg strap is holding on this gun. And again, you can't really see much, but I'll go ahead and throw a few details in here for you. And then here, let's do this. This will just kind of give you a couple of things to draw. So we're not just drawing nothing, you know. But see, it's a top view of the gun, you know, so not too much you can really do about that. Okay, so I'm going to draw her knee pad like this. Pretty simple. And she has like a leg protector on this one, and it's kind of has a angle to it. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those in. Just to give it something, you know, something like that. And this one has straps on this one, and it's connected right here in the middle. And she has like these, her laces are pretty much like this, like straps, almost, you know. Okay. Alright, so I think I want to take care of the rest with color, so for now, that is Black Widow. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.